Prisoner intentionally took a cigarette but because it would be his tool for breaking out of prison. When the prisoner returned to the cell, he pretended to trip accidentally and seized the opportunity to shove the cigarette butt into the lock slot. The prison guard not only failed to notice but also asked if he was hurt. Then the prison guard closed the cell door and left, yet he was unaware that the door lock wasn't properly locked. John could now freely enter and exit the cell, but he wasn't in a hurry to leave. On the contrary, he needed to wait for the backup from his companions. At this time, outside the prison, Nick, in order to rescue John, endured intense pain and injured his own arm. Subsequently, he went to the hospital to have the wound dressed. But since it was a gunshot wound, doctors would report to the police station. Nick was also temporarily placed in a cell to await identity verification, and this was precisely their plan. After confirming that the prison guards outside had left, Nick utilized the ventilation duct and sent a code to John by making knocking sounds. After John received the code, he gently opened the cell door. After observing that there was no one around, he took the cigarette butt from the lock slot and carefully locked the cell door. Then he arrived at Nick's cell door. Nick immediately took out the wire hidden in his mouth and handed it to John. John made a lock-picking tool with the wire. Meanwhile, Nick endured the severe pain and took off the police uniform he had worn beforehand. John quickly opened the cell door. He received the clothes and then closed the cell door again. Next, he changed into the police uniform and hid in the corner, waiting for an excellent opportunity. The next day, when the prison guards came for the cell inspection, they discovered that John wasn't in the cell. So a large number of prison guards were dispatched to search, but they had no idea that John had already mingled into their team by then. Eventually, John took the opportunity to break away from the group and managed to get away.